We're coming to the end of the Growing Connections project, which has been absolutely fantastic for St. Louis. The space itself, for example, it used to be a car park before the project, and now it's hugely vibrant with flowers, with plants, with shrubs, with herbs. It's absolutely fantastic to see.
I think from the very beginning, from Growing Connection, that the key words was community engagement. That was the heart of the project. It's a unique space to have in such an inner urban space. We are in central London. It's calm, it's quiet, it's green. You can hear the sounds of birds. You can see insects flying around. You can hear the sounds of chickens, which, it's quite rare. The kids can play between tomatoes plants and look at where the food comes from. So there's so much that a simple green space like this one that we created can give to the community. So it's really increasing the health and the well-being. That's what we wanted to do from the very beginning.
People my age and people younger than me, we've never been introduced to gardening because there's nowhere to garden. It's never been on the curriculum. And I'm glad to see young people coming in here now. And I would advocate to everybody to come in because you're living in a city and you're passing things by that are important. You wouldn't know you was right in the middle of central London. It's a little oasis. It's mind-blowing. And that's all I can really say about it. You've got to come and do it and participate and be a part of it. It's a family. It's a gardening family. And I'm glad I'm a member of it.
This is certainly about growing connections, as the name said, because this is exactly what we've been doing here. We have a portfolio of about 24 businesses that we work with closely, and all the programs that we have done have had a positive impact, and Growing Connections has enabled us to kind of do this on another level where all the gardening, the fun, the team building exercises that people have experienced teach us that this definitely works.
I like to sort of talk to people, but talk to themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
In terms of ornamental, I think what we're doing here, these ornamental spaces alongside Edible Yard, is quite unique in London. So we're just creating lovely spaces that people can be, which it just kind of lifts your spirits.
I think there is a lack and there is a need of projects like this, more projects like this, more projects that are community-led and that can really listen to what people want. So now people are telling us what they want, and we would like to offer them much more. We understood that people would really like to be trained on matters like environment, or to go plastic-free and all these kind of things that we are trying to implement here.
More and more people live in cities, and we're more and more dependent on far-sourced food-growing sources, which are depleting. And so we do need to refocus on how to grow more food in our cities for ourselves, because it is possible. It provides so much in terms of reducing air pollution, improving the welfare for anyone involved, and providing cheap or free sources of organic vegetables. Like, that's really invaluable.
So yeah, through Growing Communities and just St. Luke's generally, I feel a lot more at home in my area. There's certainly a much greater sense of community than when I first moved here, which was about 20 years ago.
Some people in the community we understood they can really have an active role, they can really be leaders of smaller community groups. So activating them would be the best way, to empower the community, to give them the tools to then be able to bring the change in their community space, because who else care more about their space than the community itself?
Everybody has a little task, and if any one of those people was to fail in that little task, then the whole chain could potentially collapse. But by working together and communicating and taking that outside, the chain of gardening becomes a social chain.
Food growing, especially in the city, is quite a political thing to do, to take back some control.
And I think people in cities and urban areas are quite deprived when it comes to space. It's because of the lack of it, but also the mental space.
But over time, we started to look forward to coming to the group because of the people that were coming and what we were going to all do together and have a laugh with all that. It's therapy to me.
I think that's the key achievement for me from the project, where people really feel that they are valued. People definitely feel that they're giving back to the community. And it just shows that there's such a huge need for such projects everywhere, no matter how many we have. London's quite fortunate, but the more we have, the better. And we hope in the future, as we go ahead, we are able to do the same thing with other estates, other local groups, with other community gardens to increase and strengthen our bonds, and then keep this relationship with plants and nature, food going on and make it sustainable.
I hope Growing Connection will just be the beginning. There's so much more that we could do. It's just amazing.
It's
The
kind of
more you
start,
do,
isn't it?
yes, the more you do, the more you realize how many other things you could potentially do. And then we can really expand that there's so much potential in what we can do and in what the community can do. Here, like in every other part of this country, this city, and everywhere actually, really everywhere.